feel like Gil Scott Heron today. It's 2025, and people are running for their motherfucking lives. You know? Like the motherfucking Titanic, you hear me? And they were still playing while the ship was going down, you hear me? I gotta find me some type of prop. I was thinking about something, right? That movie, if Memphis people got a movie, and niggas be sitting on the beach that had that immunity and them exemptions and them privileges at the end of the movie, and them niggas was laid back like this, and they was smoking and shit. I was looking at Donald Trump this morning, and they was passing these Christian school bills to protect prayer in schools, right? Like, I don't know if you're aware of it or not. I see a lot of people are like parasites. They try to attach themselves to the host. Because if you can't attach yourself to a host, what happens? You die. So a lot of people here, they say, well, I'm gonna just go around Young Chip, I'm gonna be all right. Not this time. Yeah, your DEI program is now officially the Titanic ship. You still around here playing games. And your ship that completely sank, you hear me? When I say your ship then sank, boy, your ship then motherfucking sank, you hear me? A lot of people, I don't know what law school you went to, but if you went to any decent law school, you hear me, the language of law is in fact the language of scripture. If you really won't understand this until you actually maybe buy a business and you got to go for a code of ethics board and they get to talking about canon law. And you be like, what the hell is canon law? And they start talking about John Maccabees or the McCabe John, these Treaty Kadush, these Hanukkah stores and all this stuff. I know a lot of people, they was like, what in the hell did Marcavis type up on that paperwork, you hear me, that then all of a sudden end the devil worship in school? I ain't got to tell you, but I basically, in a nutshell, went out through the book at your ass, you hear me, literally, you hear me, the whole book, you hear me. Now, this might be difficult if you've never read the Bible before. Now, if you read the Bible, you hear me, you might just be quite all right. There won't be nothing stressing out about you. Because truth be told, like I said, if you ever go to law school, you're going to get to start reading your state codes and the United States codes and your municipal codes. And you're going to find the same stuff in those codes in the Bible. Even if people change it to something evil, the evil stuff that you could possibly change it into in state law or federal law, you hear me, is in fact the same thing that it say in the Bible. It'll amaze you, you hear me. It'll amaze you, you hear me. I remember, I think Donald Trump today is feeling like my first day in law school 15 years ago. When the old man told me, and I thought it was the dumbest shit I had ever heard, but I had already paid this man thousands of dollars. He said, brother, the language of law is the language of scripture. I said, oh shit, I'm in Hebrew Greek legacy class all over again, you hear me? But come to find out, right, when you get to reading what's called like the Torah, you hear me, you get to start it, there are real estate laws in the Bible. There are exigent circumstances, just like in the military, the Census Bureau. If you ever worked at the Census Bureau, it amazes you. You hear me? There are marriage laws in there. All of that stuff is in there. They say if you do this, you'll be blessed. If you do this, you'll be cursed. It's really just about as simple as that. I seen a little kid. Little kid got up on stage today, and he said, man, I told people that I didn't want to be gay and I served Jesus. Little white boy, you hear me? And they told me they tried to kick me out of, I guess it was elementary school. Tried to kick him out of elementary school because he didn't want to be gay. He said Jesus didn't believe in it. This is different from them people that's coming, these illegal immigrants, talking about they want their dick chopped off, you hear me, to come to America. That's not the same thing. He said, I believe in Jesus, and my parents were being harassed. So all you people, you hear me, who tell people, oh, well, since you don't want to be gay, well, don't hang out over here. You won't get funded. That shit like the Book of Esther, the real Purim story, right? You know how Hamas, right? You hear me, had built this gallows, and he thought like, yeah, you hear me, I'm gonna just kill off God's people. And the Titanic shit didn't happen to your ass. The same shit. You got Looney Tunes. You was plotting on children and kids and shit. You hear me? Stalking people. And now, truth be told, I sent the federal mandate today. You hear me? That's why they were on TV talking about the Bible. That's a federal mandate. I got shoot to kill orders on you. But the way I drew it up is in the way of the Bible. The same. See, a lot of people like that's Masons, right? They say if you tell our secrets, we'll cut your tongue out and slice your throat. That's the Johnson family, you hear me, story. That's the truth about it, called John Maccabees and Maccabees 1 and 2 when it comes to the oil industry. For treason. A lot of you people that, yeah, we gonna get away. Gonna get away, fool, you hear me? I'm gonna tell you something, man, you heard me. You might play with celebrities and shit like that, you heard me. Truth be told, I ain't really a celebrity. The day you think that shit, you hear me. Then all of a sudden, there be some shit going on. I'm with the gray market. I authorize my own bitch. Ask them about shoot your house up. You hear me? You around looking crazy. You hear me? Oh shit! Wait a minute. He was supposed to get approved. Wrong. You hear me? That ain't how I'm operating out here. You hear me? That ain't how I'm living. I don't give a fuck who you tell. You hear me? You been telling. You hear me? You gotta think I've been getting snitched on. You hear me? Since 2006. You hear me? Not long. Nigga, that shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You hear me? Really, I'm like, dude, God allowed me to do stuff I'm doing. But you need to look in the mirror and look at what your name is and what you do for a living and ask yourself, can you legally do or lawfully do what you doing? That's the question. Even when marijuana was illegal, just like the little boy told you, he knew gay shit, you heard me, shouldn't be legal. In my heart, I said, this shit can't be illegal. It do what Cat Williams say. Hungry, sleeping, happy. You hear me? I'm not going to jail for some shit. You hear me? That make nigga hungry, sleeping, happy. And it's like the Dred Scott decision. How was it legal in Amsterdam in the Peace Palace in the United Nations headquarters in New York, and you got me on some Wesley Snipes U.S. Marshal shit around here? You hear me? Like, nah, this shit ain't gonna be legal over there, then illegal over here. You need to explain to me why is it legal? Just like marijuana is legal in California. Why is it legal here and legal? The problem is, like, man, I'm gonna be honest. I was watching a movie with Denzel Washington, like Hurricane and shit. A lot of times, most people in the prison system, they never even once attempt to even go to the law library. They never ask for a motion to dismiss. They never ask for a petition for writ of habeas corpus. They never ask any question. They just say, whatever it is they say, that's what it is. No, nigga. I'm telling you something, nigga. You hear me? My game been so tight, nigga, you hear me? My bitch used to show up at home 20 minutes late, and her commute, nigga, is this much time. I got questions, you hear me? Oh, you stopped at your sister's house? Well, how long, nigga? I've been interrogating motherfucker way before I went to the military, you hear me? Oh, okay, you hear how long that took? Oh, you stopped at work? Oh, it don't take that long to make this much, you hear me, right? You hear me? We got this shit down to a fine science. You know? That's just the whole truth about it for the most part or whatever like that, you hear me? The language of law is the language of scripture. Now, some people, even Donald Trump saying, I'm finna make attending church and praying in school legal. If you have a problem with that, it's gonna finally shine a light. Like I said, the LGBT is in fact Satanism. Anybody that study any history, law, science book, know that's exactly what it is, Satanism. Anytime you see a person castrating penises, that's the Horus Osiris Set story. Those are those Ramses stories, right? You heard me in the time of the Hebrew. That's the same story. That's called Satanism. Whether you were aware of it or not. What had happened was a lot of people that have legal businesses, like I said, it's not the fact that the grants and loans for business owners were canceled. What had happened was, right, you hear me? It was basically like, yeah, you can get this grant, you can get this loan from the Appropriations Committee, but you got to allow gay people to hang out at your place. Most business owners, if your business wasn't booming, well, you know, a couple gay people can come here and there. That's a compromise. You ever see a military movie, soldier movie, they've been compromised. Come on, let's get out of here. You got to leave them there. And the truth be told, in America, we don't negotiate with terrorists. That's how I know the military has started getting weak. Like a lot of these people that's terrorists and shit like that, you hear me? You ever seen, I want you to think about a real action movie. Say for instance, there's a hostage situation. You don't get a hostage $1 billion. No, you go in there, you send your SEAL unit, your whatever team, you just kill them and drill them, get shit over with. That's how I knew, you heard me, that they had all them I was like, I had never seen that shit before, you heard me that. I was like, you just go in there and kill them. You can keep them talking on the phone long enough till we get here, you heard me, but for the most part, that's how it goes. There's no, oh, we gonna work out with the legal immigrant. We ain't working shit out with them, you hear me? Kick them out the country, you hear me? Fuck them, you hear me? There's no understanding, you hear me? No, you came here illegally, you came across the border, you got a military benefits, and you ain't no damn veteran, you hear me? You going to Guantanamo Bay, you hear me? You getting tortured, you hear me? That's the end of it. That's treason. There's no negotiation with terrorists. No. Right? Come on. Like I said, that's why I don't fuck immigrant bitches. You hear me? Like I said, can you imagine if you had sex with, like, you fuck whatever you want to fuck, right? Shallow how? But if your wife, Asian, Spanish, European, say, oh, okay, well, my husband's in jail, I just sell my kids, right? You hear me? To a DEI program for benefits and a voucher. An Aboriginal bitch would go broke, you hear me, truth be told, for she let somebody play with her kids like that. That's truth about it. These women can be compromised. It's common sense. It's just like on the basketball team. I remember Derrick Rose used to play for the University of Memphis. And we hated Derrick Rose, you hear me, for years. Him and John Calipari. It wasn't even the fact that Derrick Rose in the NCAA championship scored 30 points. It was the fact that we had reason to believe that when the game was on the line, that nigga intentionally blowed the game. You hear? It's the very fact, if you can be bought, especially in a city like Memphis, you hear me? There's a lot of famous rappers that's dead today, you hear me? That little bit of treason that you commit, that shit the unforgivable sin in that city, you hear me? If motherfucker find out you been bribed to sell your people out, man, you hear me? I know some, like I said, some people compromise. I said you die. And that's just, like I tell people, a lot of people say, I don't want to go to Memphis. I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't never seen nobody get killed in Memphis, honestly, outside of treason. That's true about it. I'm talking about Memphis, I done seen some of the biggest gorilla niggas like Baloo on Jungle Book. Nice as a motherfucker, you hear me? They only get upset, you hear me? Truth be told, if it's treason, it amazes you, you hear me? Matter of fact, and a lot of the leaders be little E.T. Yo Gotti looking niggas because they don't base leadership on strength, they base leadership on wisdom. Whoever can get us paid the fastest, right, you hear me, without us compromising ourselves, that's who basically they pledge their allegiance to around there. And short fact, matter of fact, like I said, I got homeboys that got wives, you hear me? To you, bitch might be ugly. You like, man, why would a nigga that's riding, like some of my homeboys got brand new Aston Martins and shit, you hear me? They like, why would he date this woman? He be like, shit, this bitch been with me in high school, nigga, when I ain't had nothing, when my mama kicked me out, nigga, you hear me? He like, that's how they look at it. 40 years, 50 years, right? Truth be told, you hear me? And a lot of times, truth be told, you study economics of dowry and bride price, that's the best business model. Like me, truth be told, the only reason why I did it is because I ended up doing work over a decade ago at the UN studying climate change and biodiversity. I couldn't really study it unless I actually fuck with them hoes. Like I said, a lot of people still want, like, shit, why would you continue, like, even if you ain't gonna fuck with the hoes, fuck with their OnlyFans? Here's the problem. I can tell a white bitch, you hear me, I'm through with her, but in her mind, it ain't over. She ain't letting that shit go like that, you hear me? So, me studying Egyptology, what they call camera obscura. Remember, if you ever go to LA Film School, the original film didn't come from Edison or LaPrince. It was something called in 1650, the magic lamp. And before the magic lamp, this is in film school, you hear me, in real university. The Egyptian hieroglyphics, like when you see Brendan Fraser on The Mummy Return, when he got that lamp in the pyramid, and this light make these lights work like this here, you hear me, with these electronics, you hear me, very much true. But I already know the white bitch ain't gonna let it go. So I said, I tell you what, as long as I subscribe to your OnlyFans, I ain't gonna never date you, you hear me? Because I already know you're a setup bitch, you hear me? I'm conscious of that much, you hear me? We did the statistical data, we did all the survey. We already know that you only date black people fuck their life. That much, the white boy gonna send you out like he a pimp. Shit, stop it. We invented this hustling flow shit. You can't pimp a pimp, can't rob a robber. Can't slick a person that owns cans, be slicker than a man own a can of oil. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of people be sitting around a lot of the year. I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you think I said. Now I said shoot to kill. I sent a death penalty order for you, nigga. So all that sitting around, I beat up people in broad daylight. You hear me? If nigga wanted to get at me, you hear me? You been get at me, you hear me? You already know, you hear me? I'm a smoking nigga, you hear me? So look, all them tough ass looks, all that sitting around, hoping you heard something for an excuse to call your bullshit. Now I've been whooping nigga in broad daylight this month, last month before last, nigga. The military, I'm gonna kill these nigga, you hear me? The military didn't whoop your ass, I whoop your ass. They just showed up late and got on your ass. Ain't nobody scared of you faggots out here, you hear me? Kill you bitch ass niggas, you hear me? All this devil worship, going in kids' school, chopping dicks off and shit, you hear? This, keep in mind, right, like I said, I used to date women in South Central, Spanish and black bitches, you heard me, that had kids that went mad, talking about, can I save them? I'm like, what is your boyfriend at? Where is your gang banging baby daddy at? Why I got to get in trouble for this shit? Why I got to risk my career for your bullshit? Because when I did come to find out, they were in on it. And that was the truth about it. That's why I don't listen to none of that jibber jabber, you hear me, and all that shit. I don't listen to none of it. Because when it was crunch time, nigga, you hear me, that shit got hot, you hear me, them hoes, you hear me, them Spanish and them black. I ain't never want to talk to them after that neither though, because due to the fact I had to actually risk my career, I wanted to live my life like Fred Sanford. My dream was by the time, you hear me, I was this age, I was Fred Sanford. I get to sit in the house, cuss my son or my protege out, you hear me, say, one day all these regular ass books I'm in here selling at the bookstore and these clothes gonna be yours. That's how I imagine the end of my game. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you hear me. That's it. The Fred Sanford lifestyle. That was my vision for retirement in California. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie though, you heard me, truth be told. Like I said, the more people try to copyright infringe, listen to my conversations and shit. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said, investment comes from whoever you invest in, that's who you get dividends from. You never invested in my company, so you won't make $1 with me, you heard me. That's the truth about it. This is just business economics. That's the truth about it. So you can get that bullshit out your head that if I make some money today, you gonna make some money. Two, you never took a financial literacy class because you sit there and be jealous of people that might make some money, which is the opposite of a stocks and bond real estate class. The name of the game is to figure out who gonna make some money before they make some money and invest with them. You sit there and say, I'm gonna sabotage that shit. That's why you getting defunded, deported, and really, truth be told, that Christian law that they passing is in fact a license to kill, whether you're aware of it or not. You hear me? Because you never read the Bible, you don't know what's happening right now. You hear me? That's a federal mandate. You hear me? When you go in church, that's a federal mandate, whether you're aware of it or not. Those biblical laws, the language of law is in fact the language of scripture that cut your throat and slice your tongue out, what they call the Treaty of Kadush by John Maccabee, for always being in other people's business, running your motherfucking mouth. You hear me? What they call canon law, code of ethics, and being in profession, even in California and every other states in the United States. That's true, bro. Real. Keep in mind, right? I think we're gonna have to remake a lot of the drug dealing movies. Like, say for instance, like we got movies like Snow and Snowfall and the BMF TV shows and Power. We got to remake them for the immigrants. We got to show how you got fucked in your ass to get your bricks and your pounds of weed where you can't cross the border. They can't even make gangster movies the way they used to make them no more. The new gangster movie gonna consist of you getting fucked in your ass, you hear me, for that brick, you hear me, that you got in that pound of weed. This finna change, this finna be a paradigm shift, nigga, you hear me? You got fucked in your ass, you hear me, to get plugged in the game nowadays, you hear me? Back in the day, it used to be, you know, you got the money, I got the stuff. Now this nigga bent over, nigga, you heard me? I'ma fuck you in your ass and then the pounds of weed is right here, you heard me? You niggas some bitches, you heard me? I told you, nigga, you niggas never really studied those BMF cases, those Craig Pettis cases, them faggot ass niggas that came and tried to infiltrate that shit, you heard me? The illegal immigrant, these dust ass niggas, like I be telling you. Like a lot of times, that's why sometimes some of the shit they do in government with these elevated losers and shit and that propaganda, that shit don't be good. Stop lying to people, talking about this poor ass man that ain't nobody never heard of secretly had $1 billion. Because it's misleading. When black people go to jail, you know they had some money. Everybody been to know. You hear me? I knew it was only a matter of time for they got that. That nigga had this car, this house. Yeah, he had this, that, and the third bank. When they get busted, a lot of these people, the propaganda shit, that don't nobody know them. They don't own no businesses you ever seen them at. Ain't no hole they fucking in the hood. It's just amazing. It's a fabricated story. You know, everybody likes fabricated stories, but keep that shit in the movies. You know, keep that shit in the movies. Like for real, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like T.I. got a thing called Family Hustle, right? T.I. got $100 million. Tiny don't work. None of the kids need a job. Nobody in the family needs a job. Grandma don't. Keisha Cole got a few $1 million. Mama on crack, she don't need a job. We know damn well nobody in your race of people got all the millions of billions of dollars and they ass out here with these regular ass jobs. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. If a basketball player, LeBron, then ain't nobody in the family got to work because that's mostly how people with money get. When one nigga got some, like even watch Lil Bow Wow in lottery ticket, that nigga gonna go to his whole ghetto, his whole project's apartment bill. Hey man, everybody we own, everything paid for. You heard? That's people who got money. People who got money when they step in the building, they buy the bar, nigga. You heard me? I ain't never seen this. I'm gonna be honest with you because I try not to really just shit on people. Truth be told, you obviously never had no money before and never met nobody with money. People with money never wear the same outfit. That's the truth about it. People with money, when they step into a restaurant or a club, they buy the bar. It's a gesture, you hear me, to let you know that they straight out here. They don't wear the same pair of tennis shoes more than twice, right? You've never been around nobody that actually got no money. People with money buy cars the year that it's 2020. People with money ride 2026s and 2025. You ain't never had shit out here and I know it. So a lot of times, right, you hear me even sitting around pretending you hear me, that you really got something going on, that's me being modest, that's me being nice, you hear me? You know, cause my mama said I got a bad habit of making fun of people, you hear me? I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. But that's true about it. Motherfucker me, a basketball player, I mean, truth be told, Lil Baby. Like I said, Lil Baby went to a strip club. This is documented because the police were watching him for 2 weeks and threw $100,000 for 2 weeks straight in every club he went to. To some hoes that he don't even know and probably ain't even get their phone number. Don't even care. They people don't do that. They ain't got no goddamn money. They got some fraud money. That's all they got. People with money wake up so happy they just start giving away shit in the store. Hey man, you need anything? You need anything at the store? What's up, you? What's up? You need this? You never had no money, and I can tell by the looks on your faces. Niggas with money, they crazy. Even a junkie that get a check, you hear me, right? You hear me? Even if you ain't a junkie, that nigga, people with money are generous. You hear me? That's true about it. You ain't got shit. You hear me? And everybody knows it. That's true about it. People with money are nice to people that been evil to them their whole life. I'm just be honest with you. So the whole facade that you superior, you should just stop it. Like I said, if we was to say name 10 billionaires in the United States of America that's Asian, white, or Spanish, you would damn near, you hear me, be making like you on a TV show like Jeopardy or some shit. You hear me? A Wheel of Fortune. It'll be hard for you to say it. But if you say name 10 black billionaires, you hear me? That shit'll fall out your mouth. You hear me? Like chicken on the bone. You hear me? Even if they were criminals, you hear me? For real. Like I said, man, it's amazing to me. Like I said, I started to really listen to what Tariq was saying about how the African population is 10% other races of people and 90% black, but yet that small 10% dominate the 90%, and it's an education level. Like in America, most aboriginals make up less than 10% of the population. That's the truth about it. But yet we have more millionaires and billionaires amongst our groups than anybody. That's why we control it. Like I said, you can make some Matilda Daddy false numbers on your Instagram and your social media. But just like the people that got defunded and deported. Yeah, you got all these fake ass people that you thought was riding with you, but when the shit popped off, you hear me? Word of mouth moved quicker than your social media. I want you to really think about all this fraud ass shit y'all do on the internet. And when real shit pop off in the streets and all them fake ass money, them fake ass numbers you got on your social media and your YouTube, you been and got into it with somebody and you need some killers with you, and all of a sudden, you hear me, your numbers ain't adding up. Cause your killers ain't showing up, you hear me? Mine's is though. Ain't it funny? Mine showed up. Still here. I feel like a killer, like I said at this point, you hear me? I ain't got, it's so many on here, you hear me? I'm like, shit, it ain't really nothing left for me to do. Beach day, off day. That's the truth about it. I don't know what to tell you. I told this girl one time in school, I said, if you think paying for an education is expensive, wait till you find out how expensive being stupid is. See, from me studying history, right, at this point in the game, if we was to study the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, we would study civil rights and the reparations that we doing today. They only got one move left at this point in the game because black people are kind of like out of the scandal. We out the scandal. The only thing they can do now is say, could some of y'all black people get caught up in the scandal with us? And I make this presentation to people. I said, well, who is Current Price and Mark Ridley? Current Price and Mark Ridley done business with them white bitches and that Spanish bitch Martinez. It's their idea and they throw the charge on your ass. Man, look, listen, G, don't do it. No, I'm gonna tell you like my grandma told, no temporary amount of pleasure is worth a lifetime of pain. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's okay. Let that little money walk. It's okay. It's okay. Because that's the, truth be told, that's the only move that it's really no holdout on the reparation payout. Ain't no holdout on it. Right now they like, man, if we can at least get a couple black people to go down with us, I'm like, man, we ain't going down with you. It's a drought. We get it. It's a drought. But we gonna hold out. We gonna hold out. You hear me? And when the scandal is over and we ain't in trouble, we just want them bank deposits. And it's $2 million, $1,200 a month, and $500 in food stamps, and what you call Section 8 vouchers a day. Like I said, when I went to Hebrew law school, the language of law was the language of scripture. And this man told me, he said, my case, what if you could trade your labor for the things you actually want? He said, what do you think about people getting food stamps and social security? I said, those are poor people. That's what I told a nigga in law school. He said, no, man, that means you have ownership in the land and the resources. He said, can you go to a grocery store and take it home? I said, no. He said, but you can have some card to get dividends from it. I said, yeah. He said, why do you say it was for poor people? I had never thought about it. Language of law. So I said, well, yeah, you might be right about that, because I like to one-up niggas when they find something that I didn't know. I said, well, the Israelites were sellouts. He said, well, you might be right about that, and only Joseph was the good one. I said, how you going to be a Hebrew and an Israelite when the Hebrew is the order of Melchizedek? I read that book. That's one person with a tax status. So how all of us going to have a tax status as Israelites when the Israelites are sellouts? For human trafficking. They were trafficking in the land. Said touche, young nigga, touche. That's what they were. They were selling. Trafficking in the land. That's true about it. See, in the modern world, we would say, yeah, the book of Tobit, you know, the prostitute of Babylon is the woman you marry, and the Israelites are gonna get back with their brother Joseph that sit on the Pharaoh throne. They got distribution, publishing, and promotion and exhibition. Yeah, in a fair, or Rodney Dangerfield say on Back to School. Yeah, in a fairy tale. Yeah, but not in the real world. In the real world, once a hater, always a hater. Once you sell out, that's it. Ain't nobody looking for no old friends and no old bitches. I'ma just be honest with you. Now, do we acknowledge career moves? Yeah, I remember I went to elementary school. I ain't going back to that motherfucker. I went to a high school too. I ain't going back to that motherfucker. I went to a community college before I went to a university. I ain't going back to that motherfucker though. Does this make sense to you no more than I'm going back to some bitch, you hear me, or some person that I was used to hang with? It's not happening. It's not realistic. Do I acknowledge, you hear me? Yeah, you hear me? Yeah, I did. You don't see Ice Cube and Dr. Dre having no damn kumbaya moment, but do they acknowledge the fact that they once was a group called NWA? They be like, yeah, we once had a group called NWA, nigga with attitude, all that shit, you know. Cube went, Ice Cube did his thing, and we did ours. Yeah, we was click tight like that back in the day. My nigga. But we what they say, we moving different though. We moving different. They be like, yeah, man, you know, sometimes you go to the family reunion, man, remember such and such you fuck with back in the day? Yeah, man, that hoe fine the mother. But I ain't going back to the bitch. It's not realistic. Once a hater, always a hater. A bitch cross you, why would you open up the door for the hoe to cross you again? It's not realistic. You like, look, I'm just gonna do something else. Why? Because it's not the fact that we're avoiding the pain. We're avoiding disappointment. Truth be told, we get enough of these. I was reading the W.B. Du Bois books outside the Gerald Manson book. He said, white people look at successful black people different from they look at the junkie. They look at successful black people with a look of disappointment. Not because, you hear me, you're successful, they couldn't do business with you. It was they was hoping that you failed and you succeeded. When I see white people, you hear me, they ain't mad at me. They disappointed that I succeeded. Karen look at me. One the Karens out here, they see me, they're disappointed that I was successful. With promises of more success. Does it make sense to you? So what they try to do is they try to reel niggas in on OnlyFans. What they don't understand is, truth be told, I have a relationship with all the white hoes called OnlyFans. And that's as far as the relationship goes. Why? Because anything else is a setup. You don't know it though. Read those. Matter of fact, I made a post showing you what happens when you begin even in Egyptology, nigga. In Egyptology, W.B. Du Bois say the same thing. Once you reach a certain level of success, other races of women, that boyfriend, like LeBron James had a game with the Atlanta Hawks one day. A woman was sitting there was just stalking him at his game. Not because she didn't like him, her husband had lost to him in some business ventures that he had. So her husband told her to get front row tickets and just be jealous. Now they would later get rid of this hoe, Like the same way they got rid of the people who used to work at Netflix that was jealous of Dave Chappelle. They was like, you don't make no money for this company at all. You sitting around waiting on the check from us. This nigga is making the company money. You waiting to get paid some money off the people we hire to generate the company money. Don't you see that you ain't valuable in this situation? But yeah, you got the nerve to complain. I don't like putting up with a lot of charge shit, you hear me? But sometimes, you hear me, I bear with him with his crybaby shit, right? You hear me? Because I still need to go to work. No more than a nigga need a shave tree mechanic, you hear me? Because he got the best quality service, you hear me, for the best numbers in the world, you hear me? It just makes sense to me. But you motherfucker, what that nigga tell that motherfucker on low down dirty shame? Shame, you can go. But bitch, you get in the car hole, you hear me? At least I know what he gonna do, you hear me? That nigga Shane always moved that keen-eyed way and look at that nigga. Shane, you going to jail? He said, yeah, nigga, whatever, you heard me. Anyway, I called him when I figured this shit out. He said, I will shoot, bitch, you get his damn car, you know? Some people hold value in the world. Like a lot of times, a lot of you people who work a job, ain't no wrong with working a job, but what have you done at that job that make person say, this is a person of value? This somebody I really need to keep at the company. They really bringing the money in. All your customers, a lot of these people, when you go to their businesses, the reason, it ain't really a bad thing that they got defunded and deported, rightly so, because you sat around running away the real money. You sit, a motherfucker walk in the club with money, you get upset. Motherfucker, that's the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. It's a movie called The Players Club, right? You heard me. This wasn't normally supposed to happen when somebody of a celebrity status or got money show up. You ring it's a movie called The Players Club with Bernie Mac. Oh, bitch, hit the ball alert, ho. Such and such just got the record deal, just stepped in the building, got the basketball. They be in the strip club, they been to hit the button. Man, alarm go off. But ill nigga alert. That's what's supposed to happen. Instead of the Players Club, ill nigga alert, major back. No, that ain't the alarm that go. The player hater alarm go off. The stalker alarm go off. The DEI fraud start. Let me sit there and run away like for real. I was looking at what happened to the world famous club Crazy Girl. You had security guards telling the women that work in the club that a percentage of their money was theirs. Them hoes done burnt the club down. There's a crackhead in front of that motherfucker now. They on OnlyFans. That's how they make their money now. You got niggas work security, these top flight security niggas. Nigga, you ain't nowhere near a motherfucking assassin. You hear him? What Cat Williams say? Nigga talking about he bought the Chrysler 300 because it looked like a Rolls Royce. No, it don't. Chrysler 300 don't look like no damn Rolls Royce. Cause wait till a Rolls Royce pull up and your regular Chrysler 300, you hear me, gonna look like this garbage truck this nigga pushing up the street. It's not the same thing. That's like a nigga saying Roman noodles, the 99-cent noodles, is the same as shrimp fried rice. No, it's not. It's not. Pipe dreams you niggas living. I seen this movie, Pursuit of Happiness, with Will Smith. And at the end of the movie, Pursuit of Happiness, right? Remember, Will Smith is acting the Chris Gardner story. He the nigga that, remember, Will Smith I love Will Smith to death, one of my favorite actors. But remember, Will Smith is not the nigga that actually struggled, right? You heard me, to make it from the bottom to the top. At the end of the movie, Pursuit of Happiness, remember, Will Smith is the actor. But the actual nigga, Chris Gardner, is walking past at the same time. A lot of time what happened is you confuse a nigga that's acting for the nigga that's the actual $100 million, $1 billion nigga, and that's where you get caught up in the fraud. It's not realistic. At the end of the movie, Pursuit of Happiness, remember, Will Smith gonna be walking this way, Chris Gardner going the other way. One nigga's just an actor, he's pretending. The other nigga that was actually walking was actually him for real. And a lot of times, y'all been in Cho, and next thing you know, you're in DI fraud. Like I said, you never been around nobody that actually got money. People that have money, like I said, when they go into a restaurant or a club, they buy the bar. I can't make this shit up. You hear me? Like, for real. And I try not to, like I said, they don't wear the same outfit every day. They don't. They don't wear the same pair of shoes twice. Truth be told, here, like, and truth be told, I know a lot of y'all don't really smoke and drink, but down south, we measure wealth off if you can smoke and drink every day. Not necessarily what you wearing. We think if you ain't smoking and drinking that day, you lost your job. That's just how we look at shit. Even though tobacco make more money than marijuana, but that's the truth about it. That's how we look at it. We don't really judge you off what you wearing. Or if you smoke and drink, like I said, I still date gangsta boo bitches. I think white girls are beautiful. I think Asian girls are beautiful. Spanish girls are beautiful. I just like thugged out bitches. You hear me? No, that's just me. I like bitches, smoke, drink, you hear me? Hustle, turn the music up loud, riding down the street, be twerking at the house, you hear me, in the mirror and shit. That's just what I'm into. That's me. You might want a bitch that vegan, you know, a pescatarian hoe. I ain't knocking you. I want a bitch eat ribs and shit. Go to the family barbecue, bring me a plate of this shit bob and shit, you hear me, with all the shrimp and all that shit, yeah, like shit. I was thinking about you and you be like that, bitch bought me some silk drawers like that whole, like Jada Pinkett did, Keenan Ivory Wayne. I was in the mall and I thought I'd really get you something nice. I bought you some underwear. Bitch, what? You was in Macy's and the best thing you thought about, not an outfit, but some underwear and some socks. Okay, you think I'm a bitch ass nigga on here? Man. Hey, truth be told, a lot of times, you hear me, when I be placing, people don't even know. I've been doing this shit for so long, I just never recorded. A lot of people, you hear me, when they look at me, I get to looking at their ass back, be like, dude, I've been in the same spots in California for 8 years, you hear me? I have frequent flyer miles here. Your ass ain't never been here. When I say I know this city, man, you hear me, man, a lot of these places, cities around here like the back of my hand, I just never say nothing about it. I can sit around and look like, motherfucker, you ain't never been here. And I know it. I know same motherfucker where they work at, you hear me? They work around these places at these beaches for real. So I see people, they be looking at me like nigga, please, nigga. You's an invader, nigga, you hear me? You's a leech, nigga, you hear me? At the beach, nigga. You ain't never been here. Nigga, I was dressing off the mannequin before you knew what the fuck was going on around here, cow. That's truth about it. You're a fraud. Been all them hotels back there with all the biggest real estate investors you can think of. You're a fraud. Trying to blend in, you hear me? Cause you white. Nigga, please, keep in mind, I'm the token black guy. I stick out, motherfucker, you hear me? By me being here for so many years, you hear me? And I'm the same nigga, you hear me? They already know me when I show up. You look like everybody else though. So how you gonna stand out? You the one got something to prove. I ain't got shit to prove. They already know who I am. They thought, like I said, white people still think that they can live off black people labor. They think whatever black people come up with, they gonna be a part of it. Like, yeah, your mind fucked up, ain't you? Hear? Nigga, you the nigga got the job in 2025. That's why your family, you hear around here pushing these motherfucking cots and shit around here. You hear me? Because you think crazy shit like that. You don't really see niggas working and shit around here. And don't have to. Probably never will. But your people will. Look what you had. So you better get your hustle on. Better get your motherfucking hustle on. Yeah, cause we gonna get money forever. You ain't gonna never get none of the shit we got going on. That's true about it. Long as cause I gotta say so over what's going on with niggas around here. You better go get your hustle on, and write your album, your book, your movie, get busy. As far as you're concerned, I ain't giving you shit. Go get it from Donald Trump. That's who you gonna get it from. You ain't gonna get shit from the nigga king. Keep in mind, like, what is leprosy? A black person that became white. If you a nigga and you start hanging with white people, you got to stay with them folks. You can't come back this way. That's what leprosy is, a person that's black that became white. If you black and you sold out your people to be with white people, that's where you got to stay for the rest of your life. Don't never come back this aboriginal way. That's truth about it. That is called leprosy in the Bible. A black person that became white. A lot of you niggas around here, you gay as a motherfucker. Nigga, then all of a sudden talking about you coming back to Albert. No, you not. That's not how leprosy works. Leprosy works like this. If you black, you start hanging with white folk, you got to stay there. That's leprosy in the Bible, Leviticus 13. That's how it operates. I ain't never did it my whole career. And ain't starting today. I don't have leprosy. I mean, you all clean, you with your people, stay with them. I'm gonna stay with mine. But once you're a black person and you start suffering from leprosy, you start talking white, hanging, trying to act white, then you got to stay with them. I ain't never seen a leper who came back black. It never happened. You just got to go and be with them. That's how it go. Like you hear my accent, he ain't going nowhere. I'm white the fuck all right. White people ain't never, a lot of people get, look at all these years I've been getting all this money. Ain't none of it came from me hanging with no white, Asian, Spanish person. They ain't got shit to do with it. Nothing. I hustled up on all this money by myself. I put the publishing contract, distribution contract, all them multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar contracts by myself. You heard me? Grant Cardone is a multi-billionaire. He ain't trying to hang with a nigga like me because I'm cool like that. You heard me? White people with money don't hang around niggas because they cool like this. I turned this what he was talking about down. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I feel you though, G, you heard me? I feel undercover billionaire. I like this shit, you heard me? Oh, you a cone popper. But I ain't trying to hang out though. Like I said, I smoke and drink. I still hang with the gangster boobies. You ain't no smoker, drinker. You gotta think, in my culture, we smoke, drink every day, not because somebody looking at us. That ain't got shit to do with it. We just like to get high and drink. We don't do drugs, you hear me, but we drink liquor every day. Like the Kendrick Lamar swimming pool or something. That's just what we do. It's not to impress nobody. We smoke weed. What Nate Dogg say? Smoke weed every day. It's not because we on camera, you hear me? That's what we do. Oh, the camera's on, let me light the cigarette. No, that ain't the fuck. That's how we live. Y'all vegan, I'm cool with it. Like I said, that I think a lot of times, even with the heterosexuals versus homosexuals, it's like the Cain and Abel story. Abel eat meat. Cain, his evil brother, is a vegetarian. His brother can't process in his mind. He's like, I'm a vegetarian, God. That's how Cain, the evil brother. I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. I'm gay. Why is Abel blessed? He eats meat. He's killed the lamb. He's eating fried chicken, and you keep blessing him. And remember, Abel like, I can show you how to do it, but they like, motherfucker, you hear me? Like a lot of y'all mind, and that's why Jesus was telling them people in the book of Corinthians. He said, ain't even the fact I can eat and do whatever I want to do. I just don't do it like me. Truth be told, I have an unlimited bank account that I don't even use. And it ain't even the fact I don't use it. I just don't like to hurt people's feelings sometimes. You hear me? But young Jesus say, I'm a hater like you. I'm act like I ain't got a couple $1,000 watch on my wrist then. You hear me? Fuck my wrist. They keep talking, that ain't how we play, get your drummer like the DJ. I don't give a fuck. But I do give a fuck, you heard about this nice ass beach day I'm having today. And how we finally getting devil worship out of schools, man, you heard me? Man, that's a blessing. A lot of people sad about the shit. Man, they taking Satanism out of schools, you heard me? How's your feelings hurt about that? People should really start to question you VV sectionist researchers' corrupt morals around here. How are your feelings hurt today that Donald Trump said he was taking devil worship out of school? How's your feelings hurt today? I want people to really start looking at some of the people you done made friends with throughout the year who say they feeling hurt because this man say he taking devil worship out of school today. Because they had actually, that's why I was telling people, y'all wasn't aware of it. They had actually passed those laws. Those laws were actually in place. They told people, you can now worship the devil in these schools. Nobody was saying, matter of fact, it was so bad that I want to say it was like 2 years ago. The parents was at the school fighting at the parent-teacher conference. They were fighting the police, the parents. And the police were forcing them, you hear me, real talk. I ain't gonna lie, man, you hear me. I slid on y'all, you hear me, when the parents and the gangbangers couldn't, you hear me, you ain't even see it coming. And these wouldn't eat my kids, you hear me. A lot of them wouldn't eat my race of people, but it was wrong, you hear me. Truth be told, I wanted, like I said, I wanted to be Fred Sanford. I'm gonna sit my ass in this house. You hear me? I couldn't keep watching it though, you hear me? I couldn't keep fucking them hoes. And then they got kids and shit, you hear me? They get looking at me. I be like, man, I couldn't even see myself as a real nigga if I let it go down like this. A lot of people hurt today. They taking devil worship out of school. And I want a lot of people, because I'm gonna end on this note. Like I told my uncle, I said, nigga, it's easy for me to make a movie. They got whole movies with just about a podcast or a documentary. A lot of times you hear me just edit it. But if somebody's hurt today by them removing devil worship out of school and returning, that people can worship God. Like I said, it don't matter if you don't believe in God or not. That's cool. You ain't got to believe in the general theory of relativity to make resources grow. But there's a reason all the resources grow in the United States is because the Aboriginals and they don't grow in your country because they think the same stupid shit too. But they always ask for funding from the country of the people that worship the God the most, the Aboriginals. That's where we live at in the United States. There's still some of us in Australia, we don't really live in Egypt no more because we moved Memphis, what is Cairo today, in Egypt to Tennessee. But I want you to really think about something too. A lot of you people who say you don't believe in God, do you believe in Cleopatra? Just ask you these stories. That's the story they be talking about in the Bible, Cleopatra or Julius Caesar. Is Julius Caesar a real person? Just ask. Julius Caesar a real person, ain't it? That's where you find these Cleopatra, Julius Caesar stories in the Bible. That's where you find it. When you want to try out for Miss Kentucky or Miss New York or Miss Universe, you go up there and say, I want world peace as your closing argument. They say, you know, that world peace story you talking about? Yeah, that treaty, get where it located. Of Gadush in the Bible. The order of Melchizedek in the time of pimping the Egyptian, the 6th dynasty and Abraham. That's where you find it in. I ain't believe in God neither till I went to college. I found out the same shit I was studying in class, you hear me, with the same shit in the book I was running from. Like I said, the language of law and the language of scripture. You gotta find yourself in the code of ethics meeting one day and they get talking about canon law. You're like, what is canon law? They gonna say the book of Maccabees 1 and 2. You hear me? Oh, I ain't know. Man, I ain't believing shit neither. And ain't the fact that I didn't believe it, it's how it's taught. See, the Bible is a very strange book. Even in college, right, when you take Hebrew, it's a strange book. It's the only book on planet Earth that ain't taught from page 1. It's the only book like that. You can take physics in college, you can take calculus, you can take World history, civics, economics, anything. All the books in school are read from page 1 to the end. The Bible is the only book on planet Earth. They start you somewhere on the chapter that don't nobody know what's going on. Open up to the middle of it, like, wait a minute, what about page 1? Wait. It's intentionally done like this. That's why most self-made millionaires or self-made billionaires in the black community, even Bumpy Johnson, if you watch that movie, not necessarily Harlem Night, but Hoodlum, that's how he got out of jail. He was in front of the board. And they said, Bumpy Johnson, what do you think about that Bible? He said, it's a good book, you're free to go. I want you to study all black leaders, even white leaders, Asian, Spanish leaders. I guarantee you, the day they read the book for themselves, instead of letting somebody tell them, take it by faith. Some shit you can take by faith, but some shit is science. Everything ain't a scientific experiment. Some things are scientific methods. I'm gonna tell you something that I get really sick of in America. You can't make a TV by mistake. You can't make this goddamn Ferris wheel. You can't make that motherfucker by mistake. It's a science to it. You can't make a car by mistake. There's a science to it. All things have a science to it. You can't make a child by mistake. You know, I know a lot of y'all are still living the Virgin Mary Dumbo story. That motherfucker that flew out the sky and dropped you off at church, and that's where you came. That ain't the truth. Your mom and daddy fucked, and then that was you. Now, sometimes your daddy leave your mama and she tell you she your mama and your daddy, but you know it's not true, but you don't want to get no whooping or lose some of your privileges. But you know that. Women have that's the prostitute Babylon story. I'm the mama and the daddy, but she mad at the daddy, but you know it ain't true. That's her speaking from anger. That's the real prostitute Babylon story. She was crazy. You ever see that movie, Thin Line Between Love and Hate? And Mark was basically telling the woman, not really the fact that you got money that I'm not dating you. He said, I finally get a chance to date the bitch that I always wanted to date in high school. If you don't understand that, I can still fuck with you on the side, but some niggas, like I said, watch the movie with Martin, they like Gangsta Boo. I want a bitch I can vibe with. Well, it's a movie, like I said, Brown Sugar with Sanaa Lathan. He like, shit, this bitch be rapping, this bitch be at the studio with me rapping and shit, she feel me. You just a bitch that look pretty, that look good in the public eye at a red carpet event. I need the whole, what they say, I like my bitch that thugged out, I can have sex with her on the couch and drug out. I like my bitches thugged out. I drunk to that. For real, man, because a lot of you white girls, I already know you ain't gonna leave him alone. I thought I could get away, you hear me? I said, maybe if I just fuck a couple of them hoes and get on down, I'll be cool. White bitch like that movie Obsessed, you hear me? With Beyonce and Idris Elba. Like, bitch, I already hit you once, ho, you hear me? You gonna get your ass away from me, you hear me? Like, no, nigga. And white bitch, Spanish bitch, she crazy too. Spanish bitch told me one day, no, you don't just fuck one of us, you gotta fuck all of us. I'm like, what? Ain't no one Asian bitch, somebody ain't no one happy ending. All of us get happy ending. No, ho. I was just doing that shit to fulfill some requirements, you hear me? On the motherfucking some research I was doing, you hear me? Just to see if it was a different experience. It's not. I wanna go back on some Memphis shit, some Glorilla type, Gangsta Boo type bitches, you hear me? Some thugged out, sexy red hoes and shit, you hear me? That's just me, you hear me? You can't like, you like who you like. You want the bitch on that sing at on the piano, Madonna and overdose and shit, like the hoe in casino and shit. I don't want no hoe on no drugs. I want a hoe that just thugging like me. You can blame me. You know? What Lady Gaga say? I'm in love with John Wayne. Yeah. Y'all got that shit bad, you know. I'm gonna tell y'all something. There are 30 dynasties in Egypt. Who is the pharaoh that didn't get caught in the dynasty? His name is called Pimpin the Egyptian. And his son, his mama named Unc son of Pimpin, and his son named Pimpin II. And his name was Pimpin not because he sold hoes, because that's what he told him. Pimpin, and you say, nigga, I play for keeps, you hear me? He said, I don't sell no hoes. Remember, Abraham and Sarah will go to this Pharaoh. And Abraham was like, yeah, it's my sister. But in reality, it was his what? His wife. And the Pharaoh said, man, I don't do that. I don't do that she date me and you. If she with you, then she's just with you. I'm the one got the money. You ain't got shit. But if she think that she gonna fuck me and you hear me, so you can benefit out what I got going on, now I'm gonna leave you with her. That's the only Pharaoh in human history never caught in a harm conspiracy. Because we have that, it's a song that say, I'm gonna give you your bitch back. You hear me? Look, take your bitch and get away from me. You hear me? Real talk. You ain't got shit and she ain't got shit. I'm the one with the money. They call that Pharaoh in the 6th dynasty Pimpin the Egyptian. Other pharaohs would get caught in what's known as Harem conspiracies, or what they call in the 20th, 21st century, RICO acts. You know how you get out of a RICO act or a harem conspiracy? Get at it's a bitch that's up under you right now playing on you. Take that hoe back where you found that hoe. I guarantee you it'll end your scandal. It sounds strange to a dummy. Remember, the Pharaoh would never look bad on until the time of Moses. When they forgot, you hear me, how that the Pharaoh, remember, even then, it's 2 Pharaohs. You got Ramses, the one chopping dicks off, then you got Ptah, the other Pharaoh. A lot of people, you hear me, I can tell, like I said, you don't know nothing about history. You got people that try to tell me about these Israelites. Well, all of them were sellouts, so they brother Joseph, but they just say, well, you got over there. You came to, in the time after Joseph, after the King Tut periods, right? And it's 2 Pharaohs. Remember, there's a thing in international business called World Peace Treaty. There's a first World Peace Treaty in international business called the Treaty of Kadush. Women dush, they have clean coochie. That's what it means. A treaty is done between a man and a woman. Like I said, in the Foreign Affairs Manual in 2025, it's E1, E2, E3, right? What they call a treaty trader is a woman that reads with a person with an A1 visa. You know damn well you ain't got one. But remember, there are 2 pharaohs. Remember, Ramses is caught in what's known as a harem conspiracy for chopping kid dicks off. That's what he was caught up in. Like the LGBT community is today. But remember, while Ramses is caught up in this treason and in this fraud with the Israelites, remember, there's another pharaoh that exists that have been hiding the whole time. The Israelites did not know it existed. His name was Ptah. This is the first book of Exodus. They tell you, it's 2 niggas with some money. The faggot, you heard me, and the other nigga, you heard me. The other nigga, he don't talk to nobody. He kept all his money for himself and hid on your ass. As they say, amen mean what? The hidden one. The 7th seal in the Bible, right? You heard me? The amen. Right? You heard me? The hidden one. The nigga with the money that's hiding. You heard me? How do we know that when you say that the Bible is a false story? It's a thing in business school called World Peace Treaty. What is the first World Peace Treaty? It's called the Treaty of Kadush. Who was the Treaty of Kadush made for? In the time of Ramses, when they were chopping kid dicks off. You heard me? This ain't the first time. And they had found out it was another pharaoh that was hiding. He kept his money for himself and was playing like he was broke. This is the first. You go to business school. You go to international business school. This is the first World Peace Treaty. They're gonna tell you there was 2 pharaohs. Ramses, the one that was killing Israelites, eugenics in their ass. You hear me? And it was the other motherfucker that was hiding, that wasn't gay, the heterogeneous one. You hear me? They said what had happened was by the time you hear me, they got caught deep up in the scandal. They had realized, you hear me, that the nigga with the money was still there. He was gonna leave their ass with Ramses. You hear me? They call that treaty the Treaty of Kadush. Because though Ptah and Ramses are somewhat of the same lineage, Ptah is a heterosexual. Ramses was a homosexual. So he left him with Ramses' ass. He was like, shit, stay over there where he at. Because remember, Ptah lived the same as Pimpin. All pharaohs are considered Ptah, the self-made one. A creator, not a transformer. He's a creator. I'm going to close out on this because it's world peace. Look it up, Treaty of Kadesh. You're going to see it. They're going to say the Treaty of Kadesh is in the time of Ramses when the Israelites were, the homosexuals were chopping kid dicks off in the 1819 dynasty. And the Israelites, what happened when all this shit was happening to their kid, they realized there was another pharaoh that was hiding, what they call the Amen, the hidden one, the Chip ministry. Remember, Chip is the same person in the 4th dynasty they say created the pyramids, man named Chip. That's how stupid you is. They called him in the Bible, you hear me? When Jesus died, guess who took over the Jesus ministry? A nigga named Chip. Big Beautiful Bill is a reenactment of what they call the world, a treaty of peace and friendship between Chip, you hear me, as white people, you hear me, that want to get away from homosexuals, you hear me, same shit. The Big Beautiful Bill is just a refreshment of a treaty that already exists since the beginning of time. That's all it is. It's an alternate option of getting your kid dick chopped off and fucked in the ass for benefit. It's an alternate option of getting your children pedophile. But remember, the Chip ministry, the Ptah ministry, that pharaoh right there, they don't share hold. There's no you fucking him and me so he can get my benefits. You know, if you're going to stay with him, you're going to allow your people keep getting deported, defunded, and your kids going to keep living a terrible lifestyle. Because it has something to do with what Einstein would call the general theory of relativity. Like I said, when you read those Jeremiah's ancient Egypt books, Light of the World, they say the sexual activities of human beings determine what resources grow in your country. The science is already there. Randomness, what the Russian emperor would call Brown emotion. You hear me? It's not the same as a Fibonacci sequence. A motherfucker that just show up out of nowhere, you hear me, you ain't never seen, heard of before, they call that Brown emotion. What is a Fibonacci sequence? It's momentums of success, right? We know Jay-Z had this album in 96. Later on, he will have another album in 98. Later on, he will have more success here. He would write that's a Fibonacci sequence. He went 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. The money really worth it on pissing you off on purpose. I was in elementary school, I went to middle school, I went to high school, I went to community college, I went to college, I started an internship, I started a career, I started my own company, right? That's a Fibonacci sequence. Brown emotion, just random motherfucker you ain't never heard of, just pop out of nowhere and all of a sudden talking about they were the boss the whole time. That's Brown emotion. Not, see, like I tell you, even in the dope game, what T.I. say, I'm well known in the hood like the dope man phone number. There's no secret drug dealers. Everybody know who the dope boys in the pimp. That's not new. If you see some people that just pop out of nowhere, you hear me, talking about, yeah, you hear me, I am secretly, Prince Hakeem coming to America, secretly, the drug, man, stop it. Your whole family full of informants, you hear me? Ain't nobody in your family known for selling shit. This is the 21st century. You can Google people nowadays. This ain't Hollywood 20 years ago where people pop out and say, hey, I can make you a big star. Say, what's your name? Let me put it in Google. What's the last movie you worked on? Do you have an album on Apple Music, Spotify? Right? What's your social media right here? Because a lot of times it ain't even necessary. Anybody can lie on social media about numbers, but the reason Google get in so much trouble because those are documentation tools outside of a physical library. See, Google fucked up the game. Back in the day when white folk didn't like what niggas was doing, they could just burn your library down. A bomb Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Google is in the earth, nigga. It's in the ethereal realm, nigga. Don't nobody control it. To a certain degree anyway. I mean, people that operate the satellite, but those are records that can't be burnt. See, Google document everything, what they call life-changing events. A lot of these people say, okay, well, you so famous, I put your name in Google, your government name, why ain't none of you popping up saying none of that shit? If you was a big time drug dealer, why I can't see none of this shit on the internet? Ain't gonna, the internet is a no hold barred tool, you hear me? If you were famous for this or that, or you got album truck, that motherfucker gonna be on there. I don't give a fuck what it is, you hear me? What they used to call it back in the day, wave surfing. Right now we 1, 2, 3 surfing USA. Before we was silver surfing, wave surfing. Google is like real wave surfing. If somebody tell you they got like me, my name is Marcavius Jones, you put that joint in Google, I got more cases than Thurgood Marshall, Benjamin Bannock, and Johnny Cochran put together successfully. You can put Apple Music, Spotify Music. A lot of time, right, you have these people, get these women in the porn industry. Right, because remember that before the Hustler closed, it was right next to the Director Guild. And that's why Weinstein used to tell them folks, oh, okay, you don't want to listen to what I say? Hustlers next door. That was the attitude in Hollywood for a long time. That's how they used to treat the women in there. Give up. But even though Epstein gone, Weinstein, Maxwell gone, the mentality is still there. It's still there. You don't necessarily got to do nothing strange for a little piece of change to get a job in Hollywood. But what had happened was, after they finally had came out and said it, a lot of people in Hollywood started telling the truth. Man, we ain't even got paid. What Chris Tucker kept telling Ice Cube? Yeah, I'm gonna do Friday again as soon as you pay me for the last Friday, you heard me? She ain't even paid me for the last time I did a movie for you. And a lot of times, it's not really the fact that Hollywood is low talent. You ain't even, y'all don't pay nobody. Y'all pay slaves to do slave work, you heard me? Y'all pay people, they don't pay nobody. They let you, they do what the dope boys do in the Book of Michael. They give you a decent car that ain't yours, like Marion Davis. Marion Davis ride around in Rolls Royce without a dollar in her pocket. When she was dating William Randolph Hearst, when she owned MGM Grand till Bumpy Johnson took his money. They living in a house, you hear me, that they don't own till the feds kick the door in. Then you start realizing why it's important to have an education, why it's important to know have a value of a dollar. Because what if all that shit falls apart? Y'all ever wonder how niggas who be in jail, they be in jail 5, 10 years, but their education level be so high that education is something can't nobody steal. A nigga could be in jail 5 years, 1 year, and get out and still be making more money than everybody been on the town the whole time. Why? Because the nigga educated. The educated nigga always know how to get some money. Because all you got to do is just apply the education to present day or economics, you hear me, and get paid off of it, regardless who in charge. Education can't be stolen. A slave gonna be a slave, is a slave, is a slave, you hear me? You can't change that. A nigga that used to just working for somebody, he always gonna be a worker. A lot of you women don't realize that your financial situation is based off the same way Mother Earth is based off what seeds she get. You bred with a slave. Now your pussy is no longer $150 million for fucking Kobe Bryant. It's $10 on OnlyFans. They call that deflation in economics. It's simple mathematics. It's not really rocket science. It's a movie called Love Don't Cost a Thing with Nick Cannon, right? Nick Cannon on the beach, right? I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna teach y'all economics in a high school form. I'm gonna give you something for the kids. There's a movie about Nick Cannon played this dude called Calvin Johnson, right? Nick Cannon played Calvin Johnson. I'm gonna hear and what happened was, remember, Nick Cannon is a nerd. And at the time, Christina Milian is the coolest girl in school, right? Now, if Christina Milian really dates an NBA player, and she's dating the NBA, but he don't know, right? Because this is back in the time that niggas was going from high school to the pro. Now, while the NBA nigga is gone, could have been a rap nigga, same shit, right? She wrecked her car while her parents are on vacation. She got to fix the car before she get there. Now, if she get caught dating a loser, she gonna lose the actual money and the shit she actually tied in. Because if she get caught with fucking Nick Cannon dad is a mechanic his damn self. He ain't got no money. So she like, look, if you gonna date me, you gotta look cool because I'm gonna lose the millions of dollars that I'm already tied into, so you need to make this shit look cool. He like, shit, cool, shawty. Keep in mind, her nigga that's in the NBA ain't giving her none of the money. Like, a lot of people wonder why Amira Dime, like the Instagram model, that fine ass bitch, she black, but she German, but is she dating the NBA nigga? Them niggas ain't giving them hoe no money. You ain't get that hoe no money. You think a hoe still on OnlyFans, she date the NBA nigga, no more than Christine Milion. If her nigga really was fucking her in the movie Love Don't Cost a Thing, why she need Nick Cannon mechanic ass to give her $5,000 to fix the truck for her parents find out what happened? Y'all don't really understand. Like I said, you've never been around nobody. Rich people ain't giving nobody shit. You hear me? That's truth about it. I don't know. I be around. That's why I be like, I don't like that. You hear me? Like people telling me about certain rappers in my city and certain rich people. They be like, how you still cool with them, Chip? You hear me? Because it's the same way in Hollywood. Truth be told, I ain't never had nothing bad happen to me in Hollywood. You hear me? They ain't asking me to do nothing gay. They tell me, man, Chip, we just do it to them, but we cool with you. We fuck the new rappers in the ass and the police that want to be in the movies, but we don't do it to you. But it's still wrong. Because if I get caught with your ass, you hear me, and some shit pop off, you hear me, they gonna say I'm just as evil as you, even if I ain't do it. So I don't like to get the, what we call guilty by association charges. I'm self-made out here. But in the movie Love Don't Cost a Thing, right, you hear me, she dressed that nigga up. Get that nigga wearing that Sean John, he get it hair done, he up all that. Right here, he cool and fan. And what happened was, it elevates him, but what does it do to Christina Milion? Now she looked at as a loser. Because the man she just elevated to make look like a boss, what is his actual profession in real life? He's a mechanic. And what happens, most women don't understand that once you fuck a person of a lower status, you can be in love all you want, but you be told y'all hold no damn. I know women live in a mansion, still got OnlyFans. You ain't no motherfucking love, stop that. But when she got found out for fucking a nigga that was a mechanic, she went from being able to date NBA players and famous rappers to all of a sudden just the average hoe at school. This is the economics of dowry and bride prices, common sense. Sweetie ain't no bad bitch, you hear me? But what she did was she hooked up with one boss nigga, and when she got off the market, she was still available because she never fucked with losers to date other boss niggas. Does this make sense? Caitlyn Jenner or the Kim Kardashian mama, she would date a nigga at one point, that nigga was an Olympic star. Soon as he did something gay, just like the Budweiser commercial, her money deflated. She started to date who? The pool man. Y'all don't really understand the economics, man. Economics got everything to do with who you date. Keep in mind, right, Angela Simmons was dating Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow mama took all his money. Lil Bow Wow is one of the biggest hip-hop superstars in history. That's true about it. But Soulja Boy ain't got hardly no platinum album like the young nigga. The young nigga he a good nigga too, you heard me. But he make more money because he get his royalties. Lil Bow Wow mama was getting his royalties, right? So Lil Bow Wow is a family-oriented guy. He dating Angela Simmons. Because her daddy is Reverend Run, right? So church people tend to date their kids with other church people kids. Heard the problem. Yo Gotti is a multi-millionaire. He done gave his whole millions of dollars. So all of a sudden her money go through the roof. Like, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people don't really know. Why really, Angela Simmons was doing a Instagram live one day. So a lot of people I'm gonna tell you something, I watch everything. A nigga done booty bumped the hoe on the yacht. Angela Simmons booty bumped on the yacht. I seen the shit. Just some random nigga. She didn't go off like, wait a minute, you know, that ain't cool. You know, my nigga, the boss. She would look like she kind of liked it. Now all of a sudden, all those multi-million-dollar businesses he bought up, all those $100,000 just to go to the mall and act a fool, all that go away. Now she can go back to dating little Bow Wows. Niggas who ain't even got their own money. All that money he made. See, Charles Hamilton ain't the only nigga that done lost it. Lil Bow Wow lost all his money. It's the old dog niggas that live in the stories out here, man, whether you're aware of it or not. It ain't the nigga that, you know, it's the old dog niggas that live. We have principles. We the good niggas, but we like phoenixes. We turn up if we need to. We the nicest niggas in the world. Because when we do attack, you hear me, it's because on what God loves, and never because we evil, you hear me? Like I said, when you living right, my God ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. But they say 1,000 fall by your side, 10,000 fall by your side, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Economics is based off who you date. That's the truth about it. Jennifer Lopez, right, you hear me? Look at all that she going dating the same, she remarrying the same niggas over and over again. They just passing this whole round. Her career basically is unknown now. Sometimes you hear him just dating a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Keep him at Kim Kardashian, right, was a multi-billionaire. She went from dating Kanye West to a comedian on Saturday Night Live that can't even produce 6 figures a year. She lost everything. When I say, man, when I tell y'all women, the person you date will determine, man, your economic. At the time, Kanye West was considered one of the best producers. That he could easily sell a beat for $100,000 or $1 million a track, easy, just for an instrumental. She left Kanye West to date a clown on Saturday Night Live. Don't nobody watch the Kardashian TV show no more. And you tell me that who you date won't determine your economic situation, you crazy. It ain't even the fact some people be abstinent or take a vow of insult or covenants. You heard me? Just want to go to church, you know. What can William say? Can we just be single for a little while or date a little bit? You heard me? Try to figure it out. She dated a clown on Comedy Central and lost everything. See, what they say, you got to date up, not down, baby. How could you leave a nigga for a billionaire for a man in Hollywood that ain't even getting paid? What are they worth? Now your career is over. Really look at it. Kobe Bryant is dead. We might love his wife, but we really are fans of Kobe, not Vanessa. They not really that important anymore. Not saying you hear me, like you hear me, right? You hear me. That they ain't superstars in their own right. But like I said, it's Shaq told his kids, he said, I went to the NBA. I made the money. Now, like I said, that's the beauty of having black people in your family outside the way the other races do their people. We're the only race of people. When we get money, our whole family got some money. Not all our money, but we gonna make sure all of them got a place to stay, all of them got a car. They ain't gotta work for nobody but us. That's the truth about it. We the only race of people do this. We got the plug on the EDD. We pull up in the neighborhood like it's tax school check time. Yeah. Hey man, you did your taxes yet? You got your school? You got your EDD? You need it done? White folk don't do that. White folk come across a hustle. When in the time of the pandemic, niggas are pulling up like tax time. Hey man, you need some money, man? You need some money? Which one of y'all need some money? They don't never do us like that. We the only people do that. We the only people gonna pull up on somebody and give you an opportunity to make something out of nothing where you ain't got to compromise your manhood to get it. Does that make sense? Even people, like I said, you can watch the movie Friday. You can think Big Worm, just like in the movie Leprechaun, is the bad guy. Smokey didn't have no money. He fronted him some shit. He ain't even actually was mad at him that he couldn't sell it. He said, well, just give it back to me. But in reality, he ain't even had it. We are in fact the people that invent in international business what they call front load. We are the original bankers. We the only race of people that get somebody something and see if you'll make us some money with interest on what we gave. They never done. They don't do it unless you finesse them out of it, and that's why I don't have no respect out for them. You hear me? Because all the money I got from them, I finessed them out of it. I'm like, if I gotta trick you out the money, you hear me, man? We ain't hanging out. Stop it. That ain't no business. That's like you dating a prostitute. If I had to pay you for some pussy, you hear me? Then shit, that's the end of that relationship. We fuck, you go home, I go my separate ways. You hear me? No, that's not love. I just need to smash. You hear me? That's not the same thing. Really start studying economics. Michael gonna ask me, you hear me, can I make a movie? You hear me? I said, man, look, my podcast be a movie. Honestly. Books, albums, you hear me, movies. All this stuff is easy. Getting paid for it, you hear me? What irritates people sometimes. Because you got these Alan Turing, right? You hear me? Those computer hackers. Homosexual computer hackers not paying people on time. Remember, it wasn't the fact that Dave Chappelle turned down $50 million. No, Dave Chappelle could have picked that $50 million up easy. But ain't nobody doing nothing gay. No, like that. That's the sickness they have in Hollywood. They try to bribe people. And some people can be bought. Like I said, what if we had to change around the way the dope game movie went? Where now instead of you getting, say for instance, we watching the movie Scarface. And they say, you got the money, you got the stuff, you got the money, you got the stuff. You watching the movie Scarface. He said, come on, let me fuck you in the ass and then I got it for you right here. What if the drug transactions became like that? And that's basically why I never do. What if we watching the movie Scarface and he got to get fucked in the ass to get the cocaine? Because that's what your culture is. See, y'all true colors are really starting to show. Ain't shit about you a hustler finesse, man. It's buy them low, sell them high. I want the best quality products for the best prices so I can put my price on and make some money, sell it to somebody else, retail or wholesale so they can make some money, and people on the market have a better pocket that makes them feel better about themselves, so when they go out to work, you hear me, they feel good, you hear me, and when reciprocity, generosity, the world is a better place. You will never be my equal, you hear me? Look at how you do your business. In the movie, truth be told, if you watch the movie The Mac, golden hoes weren't selling pussy on the movie The Mac. They were robbing tricks and stealing clothes, you hear me? That's what they were doing. They were pretending they were gonna get them some pussy and running off with the money. Watch the movie The Mac. You gonna see how true this is, I'm telling you. Compromising. But like I said, man, you hear me? I'm gonna leave on that note. Love don't cost a thing. If you mad because they taking devil worship out of school, I want y'all to really start to take notes of the people that's pissed off today because Donald Trump ended all devil worship in school. Truth be told, some people that don't live in some of these DEI districts, they didn't even know that that was an actual law in the school, devil worship. They didn't even know that. They had actually paid the law. I'm telling you, I had women that were coming to me, you hear me? Like for real. I was like, man, why, get somebody else to crash out about that shit, you hear me? Like for real. Like why I gotta fuck up my square head Fred Sanford life over here about some shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. My kid grown. But truth be told, it affect me and other future generations of people, truth be told. So I had to step on that shit, but truth because it was wrong. But a lot of people weren't even aware that they had actually passed laws all across the United States that it was legal for gay people to come to people's schools and make them kids worship the devil. A lot of people weren't even aware of it. Because you got to understand, because if they have to change the law to make it legal to worship God in the school, then what is the current law today? Devil worship. You heard me? I told you the homosexual Satanism. You heard me? If you have to change the law to make it legal to talk about God in the school, what is the current law in the schools today? Devil worship. This shit was all on the news a couple years ago. The parents were having to fight the police to stop them from doing it. That when they passed the devil worshiping laws in the school, it made it legal for homosexuals to start kidnapping kids at school without the parents' consent. Like I told you, if you study Egyptology, man, all homosexuals consider Satanism. You heard me? That's the truth about it. They passed devil worship laws in schools and started going in them schools, you hear me? When they passed them devil worship laws there and started kidnapping kids in the school, homosexual. And so if you mad today, it shows a lot about where they say we don't judge you by your skin color, but we most definitely judge you by the content of your character. Love, peace, and hurt grease. Young Chip the Great, my name, whole weight. 213-278-4469. Zelle, I'm gonna draw my beach days, you heard me? My beach days, you heard me? Keep it jiggle, you heard me? Peace out, Girl Scouts. Like I said, still got the 3 movies. And then we're doing great song, new power play, ITT tech type shit, you heard me? Without homo senseless pimping, you heard me? Our Chip is ministry, Colossians 4, Leprechaun lawyer, and the best for a silver fleet, but not Genesis 38:50. You heard me? With the happy ending, you heard me? But not 12 men, 12 women, you heard me?